expectation. That is what God has called us to do. And that is only possible as we focus on the promises of God. Now we can zoom out on this. The secret for some to stay upbeat and not getting discouraged when they think things don't happen in the timeline. When discouraged, it's usually because we zoom in on something in life that's not pleasant to us. We have what commonly called an off day, or like our parents, we seem to feel as this time of failure in our lives, or time of missed opportunities has arisen, the feeling of regret. Saints, truth be told, we all are a work in progress. Amen. Some of us get discouraged when God doesn't meet our timeline, or should I say our deadline. Amen. Then one or two things happen. Either we just give up on the miracle. We get discouraged, we stop believing, we stop praying, we stop hoping, we strike out, so we start getting into the batter's box. The reason we had to ourselves is that if we don't swing, we can't miss. But the problem then is if you don't swing, you can't hit. I want to talk about what the Lord did with the man Naaman. If he hadn't prayed, if he hadn't believed, if he hadn't waited on the miracle. I hear miracles coming with completion. 7. What if Naaman hadn't dipped in the Jordan? What if he had dipped in there 6 times? What if Elijah had only prayed for rain 6 times? What if the Israelites had only marched around Jericho 6 times instead of 7? They would have forfeited the miracle because they believed that they would not have given up. Oh, way so easy. If we keep trusting, if we keep seeking, if we keep on believing, if we keep on waiting, we'll experience the miracle. We must keep on keeping on. If you will, when we started this here message, we learned a thing or two about, I'm going back to him again, about being patient. When we are waiting on the Lord, we must learn to be patient. We must look back at Naaman. You see, Naaman was a valiant soldier. He was a soldier deemed his worth with weight. But Naaman had an affliction. This here affliction was leprosy. To make a long story short, I think miracles are forfeited because we have the tendency to give up too soon. Well, Naaman had to dip down into the Jordan River 7 times before he could be healed of this here leprosy. The prophet Elijah had prayed for rain before a cloud appeared in the sky. The Israelites marched around the city of Jericho. They had to march and they had to march. Step by step, they marched around the city 7 times before the wall would eventually come tumbling down. So here's what you may be wondering. What if Naaman had only dipped in? What if Elijah had only prayed 6 times? What if the Israelites at home, they said, we ain't going to march no more. Saints, I do believe the miracle would have been forfeited because they had given up way too soon. But we must learn, we must keep on praying. One of my favorite stories in the Bible was the book of Daniel. You see, Daniel was a true man of God. Daniel believed in God. In Daniel 10, Daniel had a vision from God, and he decided to fast. You ever wonder where the 21-day fast came from? Well, watch this, saints. When Daniel, he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord just gave him, he didn't understand the vision that he saw. So what did Daniel do? He began to pray more and more and more. And finally, he prayed for 20 days. And when he prayed the 20th day, still had nothing happened. But along came an angel. One night the angel, it came up to Daniel. He said, Daniel, be not afraid, for the Lord has heard your prayer. He knows what you need. So that's why the day came of the 21st day. And that's when rain came on the 21st day. And that's why Daniel, he didn't stop on the 20th day. He prayed to the 21st day. And on the 21st day, the Lord answered his prayer. Let God some glory. I'm here to tell you, we need not give up. Sometimes we must wait. We have to wait for the promise to be fulfilled. Sometimes we have to wait for the miracle. Don't try to manufacture the miracle. So the first mistake is giving up. The second mistake is praying. That ain't going to happen. Our mistake is trying to always manufacture a miracle. God don't need our help. He did all this and he didn't call. Did he call you and say, oh, can you come help me?
That's all right.
When we try to do something, it causes more problems than to solve it. My brothers and sisters, I challenge you today. Have patience and wait on the Lord. For he will renew your strength. He will answer your prayer. He will see you through. He knows that you need him. And trust me, saints, he's an on-time God. Won't you wait on him? Wait on him now. God's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. He knows what you need. The doors of the church are open. I don't know about you, but I'm waiting on my miracle. I don't know about you, but I know what the Lord did for me. The Lord let me pray for many years when I had an addiction problem. I prayed and I prayed. I prayed all night long. I prayed all day long. I prayed every day, all day. Even when I went out to do wrong, I prayed. But you know what happens when you pray? Wait on the Lord. Just wait on him. He hears your prayer. Had I just stopped on the 6th day, my prayer may not have been answered. God hears you. He answers you in his time, not yours. And remember, you can pray all you want. God moves on his schedule. And his schedule, Pastor teaches us every week. His schedule is not our schedule. His deadline is not our deadline. His timeline is not our timeline. But have faith and wait on the Lord. He knows what you need, and he knows when you need it. I often tell my granddaughter about needs and wants. We often get our needs and wants confused. God knows what we want, but God also knows what we need. And he gives us what we need when we need it. Not a moment before that, because if he gives it to us too soon, we might mess it up. Don't leave before the blessing. Don't leave before the miracle. For the miracle is from God to you. God bless you. The doors of the church are open. The doors of the church are open. I don't know about you, but I love the Lord. I love the Lord that he gave me this message. Normally, Pastor didn't tell me I was preaching until Wednesday night. Normally, I know from one Sunday to the next what the Lord's going to have me preach. But the Lord gave me that, and I could have lost this sermon so many times last night and this morning in this tablet. I'm trying to get new age. I'm trying to get up to time. But you see how God works? God, and he made sure that message stayed right there for me to get. So I don't know about you. If you don't know the Lord, get to know the Lord while you got a chance. Don't put off for tomorrow for what you can do today. Don't say, I'm going to seek the Lord tomorrow. So many people go out these doors. Not just these doors here, but any door that you are in the city. You come out, you leave from inside and go outside, never to come inside another door again. If as walking, that is, you may be wheeled into some doors. So we must look to the Lord while we have the chance. And if you're praying, if you've asked God for something, don't give up before your miracle. Because the miracle's coming. Don't give up before your blessing. Don't give up, and don't manufacture your blessing. Don't manufacture your miracle. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. For as you know, Jesus died on the cross for us, for our sins. He didn't die, he died for you, and you. If you believe, if you want to receive, open up your hearts. You can give me your hand, but give God your heart. He's waiting on you. And we all have some good days and bad days. We all have our period of the waiting room. Wherever your waiting room is, hold tight. The miracle is coming. Well, may we all stand.